I find ice baths and saunas are this reminder that you can do really hard things and you're stronger than you think that you are. No one wants to get into an ice bath, but when you do it and you stick to that 3 minutes, 2 minutes, even if it's just 1 minute, you did it. You went against what your mind was telling you not to do. Hello, beautiful humans. Welcome to another episode of Selfdom. This is the last episode of 2024. What a year it has been. I was reflecting on it and I thought about the beginning of the year. I didn't have a gratitude journal. I didn't have a community. And now these two things have brought so much purpose into my life. And I'm just so grateful from the support and the loyalty from all you girls and all you listeners. It has really been a dream come true. And yeah, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for the last episode. I'm going to do a Q&A and answer the questions that you left me. If you don't, make sure you follow Selfdom and Dominique Elisa. They're my accounts. I've usually put the question boxes up there. So if you have questions you want to ask me, that's where I put them. To start off, I am going to do a life update. We are moving apartments and we're kind of devastated. They had sold our apartment a few weeks ago. We've had people walking through the last 6 weeks and yeah, they sold it. So we've had to move. It's all happened so quickly. And because it's summer in Australia, it's just a really hard time to find places. But it's so beautiful. I'm so excited to share our new apartment. But yeah, this is a big move. Like we've only been in the apartment 11 months as well. So yeah, just moving again is a bit disheartening, but onto a new chapter. I also think clearing out all your cupboards and your wardrobe it feels really good before the new year doing this. It's like cleansing. I am going to do a Glebe market on the 21st of December. If any girls are around and want to get some last minute Christmas shopping done or New Year's Eve outfits, I've got so many beautiful things to sell. So I'll put that up when I organise it. So yes, we're moving, but at the same time, we're also going to Perth and Bali because we'd already had this trip booked. So this whole week is kind of chaos because we're moving, we're traveling. So we've hired people to help us, which is amazing. Last time we did it all ourselves and it was really, really exhausting. So I feel really lucky that we've got people helping us this time around. We are going to Perth and Bali, as I said. So Tom and I have a wedding in Perth. Super excited in Margaret River. It's a gorgeous area. If you've never been, I feel like Perth is just still a hidden gem in Australia because it's a little bit further away, but the beaches are just untouched. The water is crystal clear. So I'm really, really excited to spend time with Tom and his family, go to the wedding, and then we go from Perth to Bali. Bali is only 3 hours from Perth. So we were like, why not? Let's go. We've booked a villa in the middle of the jungle. We're just going to chill. Like, I just want to sleep, read, and eat really yummy food. So it's going to be a really nice way to end the year. And my final update is, because I haven't done an episode since, we did a mini retreat, the Selfdom mini retreat in Palm Beach. Oh my God, that was like the best day ever. What a turnout. 50 amazing like-minded women. It sold out in 24 hours, which was just insane. We had Pilates by me. It was the first time I've ever taught a class, and I thought, I'm going to teach 50 people. It was crazy, but I had Tom by my side DJing. We had practiced so many times, and I really felt like I was in a flow state when I was on that mat teaching. I adored it. I loved the energy. It was so good. And then we had some inspirational speakers. I had my friend Suze, who is a girl who comes to Walk Club. It was all about alignment. Then I spoke about journaling prompts and manifestation. And then Tom, my partner, did a breathwork and meditation. We ended with fish bowls. We had saunas. We had a private beach. It was just so good to connect. No one wanted to leave. Like, the event was meant to be 4 hours, but everyone stayed for 6 hours. yeah, it was just so good. The weather was amazing. So I'm going to be hosting more of these kind of mini retreats. I really liked that it was an hour and a half away from Sydney and Palm Beach, because I feel like people made the most of it because they didn't have to rush off anywhere. People came from Adelaide. If you girls are listening, thank you so much. And booked a little stay in that area. Some girls came from Sydney and booked a stay, and everyone was carpooling. It was just such a good community feel. So yeah, everyone who bought a ticket, I'm so grateful, and I can't wait to host more because it was just such a successful morning. All right, I'm going to jump into the questions. I've been yapping. And yeah, I'm so excited. First question. Can you share your journey to clear skin in detail? Many of us could use some inspiration. Thank you. Okay, I posted a video on my Dominica Lisa page where I showed my skin 6 weeks ago, I think it is now. And it was so flared up. Oh my God. And I felt like I was doing everything right. It was so disheartening. And I feel like I can relate to anyone who's going through a skin journey. It can be really difficult to even leave the house. I would just have my hair like over my face because it was all around my jaw and my side of my face. So I'd just cover my face up because I was so embarrassed. And yeah, I just was doing everything right. No drinking, high protein, supplements, everything, you know? And then I'd be walking around and I would see people having chocolate and fast food and their skin was perfect. And I would be that person like, why me? Why me? That inner critic she was there. She was strong. But what really pushed the needle to see results was going to my acupuncturist. Her name is Isabella. Her acupuncture place is called Essential Acupuncture in Bronte. And yeah, she did an amazing session. She put needles in my ovaries, in my skin, and I was speaking to her about the supplements I was on. And she said, "Are you on fish oil?" I said, "No." She's like, "You need to be having 4,000 milligrams of fish oil." She gave me the Biomedica, and she also gave me beef liver capsules, the primal energy, sorry. Within 2 weeks, my skin started clearing. These supplements have been the game changer. And yes, they're a bit more expensive, but wow, my skin is finally getting back to where it was when I was on the pill. And yeah, I'm just really grateful that I know Isabella and she's helped me. So I've been doing that now for a full month and I've had a few new breakouts, but there's definitely been gaps between the breakouts rather than just every day a new one popping up. So obviously you speak to your naturopath, you speak to your health professional, but those supplements really, really helped me. Also having a red light I use the Bond Charge one. That has been so good for my skin and my circadian rhythm, which means my sleep is better, which is really good for my sleep. And then breakfast, I keep banging on about a high protein breakfast, but so important. And it means I can take my supplements as soon as I wake up. So I have a few before I eat. And then I meditate, journal, and then I have breakfast, and then I have a lot of supplements after that. But yeah, I'm just getting them in straight away. I've definitely reduced my sweetie treaties, which breaks my heart because I would never have anything terrible, but even just like the Loco Loves and stuff, I'm just limiting to like a few nights a week, not every night, because yeah, I've heard that cacao can flare your histamines, and that was something that was flared for me. So yeah, that's what's been working. My skin is clearing, which I hope means my hormones are balancing. However, I haven't actually had my period for quite a while now. It's been like 3 months. So I'll keep you posted on that. I'm really hoping it comes soon, especially with the acupuncture and stuff. Like she's literally putting needles in my ovaries. So yeah, that's what's been working with my skin so far, and I hope that helps you. And if you've never seen a naturopath, go get your bloods done and just do it. See a health professional. It will really, really help. Tips for sleeping better. I have such a rigid sleep routine. I didn't realize that a sleep routine is just as important as your morning routine for such a long time. A good morning starts the night before. So if you do not have a sleep routine at all, this is your sign to create one. It doesn't need to be anything crazy. It can be 15 minutes to start with, but no phone, dim lighting, chamomile tea, maybe a magnesium supplement, and wow, this will make such a big difference. The modern world is not how we used to be. We have lights, we've got the phones, all these blue lights, and it's really hard for our body to actually produce melatonin naturally, because melatonin starts producing in the body when the sun sets and it's dark and your body's preparing for rest. So a big thing for me is getting off the phone, because not only is it the light, being on your phone can be quite triggering as well. Maybe on social media, you see a comment. So get off your phone. Another thing that I love are my blue light blocker glasses. They look crazy, but I feel like if I actually, should I go get my sleep routine stuff? I'm going to get it, because so then you can see. This will be a YouTube or a reel just so you can see how I look like when I go to bed. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Luckily, I record at home so I could get all the things. Blue light blockers. I look like I'm on a construction site when I go to bed. Put these on. Then I have this wraparound mask. Gorgeous. Then I spray my feet with magnesium spray. I also have a magnesium supplement. I read my Kindle before I get into bed, and I also do my gratitude journal. That is a game changer for sleep. The night routine in the journal, because you just let go of your day. You realize how many things you have to be grateful for, and it just stops your mind running at night. So they're non-negotiables. I sleep with earplugs. I'm not going to put them in because I won't be able to hear. And I have a chamomile tea. These are like my non-negotiables. These will travel with me. I have to have these at all times. Sleep is so important, and I just hope this encourages you to even try one of the things. No phone and a chamomile tea. There's so many amazing podcasts all about sleep as well, and more studies showing it's probably the most important thing when it comes to our health, immunity, longevity. So yeah, get a pair of blue light blockers. Don't worry about what anyone says, and maybe we can make this cool, you know? All right, next question. How often do you drink alcohol? So at the beginning of the year, I kind of said to myself, I don't want to label anything, but I'm definitely sober curious. And I've had drinks this year when I went to Italy, when I went to New York, when I went to Bali. There was things on and I was drinking, but I've kind of made the decision now that in Oz I don't drink. I just had my friend Bernie's wedding on the weekend. It was amazing. It was honestly the most beautiful wedding. And I was so proud of myself. I didn't have a drink the whole time, and I had the best time. I feel like going sober has allowed my dopamine level to kind of just be at this baseline where talking to people, socializing, listening to music, these things make me full of energy, full of beans, and then I have so much fun. I don't need any uppers anymore, and it definitely took time, because I used to be a really big party girl back in the day, and I thought, oh my God, to have fun I need to drink. But now I just feel high on life, which is just crazy. And yeah, I would say, again, I really don't want to label it, but I'm probably like sober. I want to be sober now. Unless it's a really like I'm traveling and it's like I'm in a winery and it's part of the experience, but I just feel so much better not drinking. I have just as much fun, probably more fun. And then the next day I'm not hungover. But like even on Saturday night for the wedding, I went to bed at midnight or even past midnight. And then my body clock wakes me up at 5:30. So I didn't have much sleep. But at least I wasn't hungover, and I can start my Monday fresh. Like I'm recording here and I feel really good. So that's where I stand with alcohol. I have zero judgments with anyone who drinks. But if you are sober curious, give it a go. do a month, maybe another month. And that's kind of what happened with me. I just naturally progressed because I enjoy my morning so much. And I think nothing good happens after midnight. So that's my experience. That's my journey. And I feel really, really proud of myself for how far I've come when it comes to where I stand with drinking. How to release overthinking and rumination. When I look at this question, I think about all the different things in my toolkit. I mean, I'm always talking about gratitude journaling, but gratitude has been the single most effective tool when it comes to the overthinking mind, that monkey mind. Writing your thoughts down releases them and stops you just spiraling. So for me, my nighttime routine, that's where my gratitude journey started because I was such an insomniac because I would overthink everything. And so at night, I'm like, I will let go of. That simple journal prompt will help you just let go of the things you're overthinking about. And doing gratitude is then putting you in a state where you're like, oh my God, this happened today. This happened today. There's a thing called negativity bias. As humans, we tend to focus on the bad. It's natural, it's instinctual, but through journaling, we can help rewire the brain, reprogram the brain to focus on the good and to help that mind just calm down. So journaling really helps. The Selfdom journal has it all laid out. The prompts for day and night are there. Then I meditate. I find meditation is amazing because you're focusing on the breath. You're going to have thoughts, but you're just going to slowly learn to let them go. So journaling is a huge one. Another one that I find really helpful is ice baths and saunas. I find ice baths and saunas are this reminder that you can do really hard things and you're stronger than you think that you are. No one wants to get into an ice bath. But when you do it and you stick to that 3 minutes, 2 minutes, even if it's just 1 minute, you did it. You went against what your mind was telling you not to do. And that's going to really help with your overthinking mind. You're in the ice bath, you're just thinking about your breath. You're so damn cold, you can't be thinking about anything else. So definitely give that a try if you haven't before. Yeah, they're probably like my 3 biggest things when it comes to helping my overthinking mind. The next one is biggest lesson learned. I think my biggest lesson learned, it kind of goes nicely from the alcohol question I just mentioned, but really trust your gut. When I was going out and partying, there was always a part of me that knew that this wasn't aligned. Like, it was just that little bit in me that was doing it to fit in, but I pushed it to the side because I wanted to fit in, I wanted to be liked, I wanted to be loved, I wanted to be validated. But your gut always knows, and that little feeling you have is never going to go away. And one of the things we were talking about at the mini retreat was finding your purpose and finding your alignment. And often we're in like a 9-to-5 job and we have this little feeling deep in our gut or knocking on the door almost, but we push it to the side. But that is your purpose just trying to tell you. It's like everyone has their born purpose, but we don't listen to it. We drown it out with social media, going out, and just being that hamster on the wheel. But I think listening to that inner voice and your gut, you can never do the wrong thing. It's always, always right. So the biggest lesson for me was just really listening to it, and meditating is the best way because you're actually seeing the thoughts come up and acknowledging them instead of just always masking them and distracting yourself. So yeah, my biggest lesson is just listening to your gut. How to prevent bloating after meals and how to really tone down stomachs and body. Okay, so I'm going to talk about bloating here. This is something that I've struggled with for a very long time, and it honestly does come and go in waves. I think the first thing is just like being aware of your cycle. You are going to be more bloated before you get your period. Our bodies fluctuate so much over that 4 weeks, so just acknowledging it and being okay with it. But these are some hacks that I use to help with bloating. So I've got a 2-day lookbook coming up with the upside, just like activewear. And I mean, the last thing I want to feel is bloated. So I always do a lymphatic massage the day before a shoot. So I go to a place in Bondi called Orange, and it's just like this lymphatic massage machine. And it just really, really helps with bloating. Wow, wow, wow. Like, I just find it just gets rid of that water feeling all over your body. So that's a little hack. Another one is taking milk thistle. So I take that 3 times a day. It just really helps your body detox. I really encourage you to just go for a walk after you eat instead of just sitting or going back on your computer. Just go walk around the block if you can. It will really help with bloating. Another one is eating at home. I think for me, like, I will often order a healthy meal out, but they might use seed oils. Who knows what's in there? There might be cross-contamination with gluten, dairy, and one of the best ways to beat bloating is to just eat at home and to know what's on your plate. So, yeah, I really encourage you to eat at home if you're someone suffering with bloating. And my last tip would be to eat slower and eat mindfully. This really is a game changer. I have started eating with no phone, and I used to eat while scrolling, and before you know, you've finished your food, you're still hungry. But when you're just focused on your food and taking notice of each mouthful, you get fuller quicker, and you're less bloated because you're chewing and you're enjoying it. So yeah, there's some tips for bloating. And one last one is just being aware of what bloats you. And I think it's okay to eat stuff that bloats you sometimes because food is pleasure, but being aware of it and just being accepting of it is super important. And it's not the end of the world if you are dealing with bloating here and there. So just be mindful of how you talk to yourself and your inner critic, because trust me, girl, we all deal with bloating. Tips for libido health. Okay, we haven't had any questions on libido and we haven't actually spoken about it in the podcast. I really want to get a sexologist on. Let me know if you girls think that would be good. But another thing with libido is you need to understand your cycle again. I mean, I always talk about the Alyssa Vitti book In the Flow, but it talks all about your cycle. As women, we need to understand that we have 4 distinct phases. Our hormones are changing and we all feel like different in those different phases. So understanding your cycle. So when you're ovulating, that is when you're most fertile, your libido is highest, but it's only for like 3 or 4 days. So if you don't feel like your libido is high the other time, it's kind of normal. So make sure you don't put yourself down if your libido is low. I have to say that acupuncture has really helped my libido. I think when she puts the needles into my ovaries, I always feel just relaxed as well. And that's probably the biggest thing when it comes to libido. If you're in a relationship and when you go on holidays and you're just like enjoying being with your partner so much more because you're relaxed. We're all so stressed. It's like the last thing on our mind. Like, it's scientifically shown that it's the last thing on our mind. Libido goes away when we're under eating or stressed because it's not a necessary function to survive. So yeah, try reduce your stress. Just try take an hour of self-care a week, massage. Like, I find after a massage, I'm just so relaxed and more in the mood. But if you are worried about your libido, I would see a naturopath or a hormone specialist because it can indicate that something isn't leveled or balanced in your body. So yeah, just be kind to yourself as well. I think as women, we all talk in our little girls group and we hear about, our friends doing X, Y, Z, but you're on your journey, respect your own journey. And yeah, there's so much more to a relationship than just that. A relationship is having that person who supports you emotionally, spiritually, not just physically. So yeah, I definitely want to do an episode on libido. That's a really good idea. Best breakfast places in Sydney. I've been getting so many DMs from people regarding like recommendations on eating, Pilates studios, beaches, and I could do a whole episode on it, but I'm not sure if people would listen. So let me know also if that's something you'd like. But best breakfast spots in Sydney. I love The Shop. Think it's a hidden gem for breakfast. Lock, Stock and Barrel, the Bowlerama. It's probably been there for a decade, the same bowl, but it's just so good. It never disappoints. Where else for breakfast? I adore Blackwood because the portions are so big. So like I'll get salmon, eggs, kale, avo, and it's just so big and hearty. And you can get the scrambled eggs without dairy, which I love. And I reckon my fourth spot for breakfast would be Pocket. It's a new spot in Bondi, but it's really, really good. The portions are big as well. And the view is just stunning, like North Bondi. Oh, so last one is actually D-Bowls, the acai, if you want a sweet breakfast. Best acai you'll ever have. All right, the last one is best piece of advice you've ever received. My mum always said jealousy is the thief of joy, and that was the best advice I ever received. It's something I've always reminded myself, especially being in like the modeling industry and the fashion industry. It's just jealousy really is the thief of joy. Like it takes away so much energy that you could be putting into much more productive things. And yeah, it's just an emotion that we can accept that we feel, but really let it go. Like, don't let it eat you up inside and don't let it ruin your day. There's abundance for everyone. There is so much success for everyone. We should be so excited for everyone. So, yeah, that's something my mum always said, and it always really, really stuck with me. So, yeah, that is the solo episode for today. Again, I'm just so grateful for the year we've had. I have such big dreams and hopes for Selfdom. And yeah, every time you guys share the podcast on your story, it makes me so happy. I'm so, so grateful. So thank you to each and every one who's tuned in every week this year. Always DM me, and I would love to know what guests you want to see, what topics you want me to speak about next year. I hope you all have an amazing festive season. Let your hair down, just enjoy it. And I'm super excited to host more events and hopefully connect with each and every one of you in person. So yeah, until then, have a beautiful break.